Live from the part of YouTube that you only go to because you can't resist on clicking those sexy thumbnails, it's the Zankoku Tenshi Show. The show that somehow manages to be more credible than CNN. And now, here is your host, the man who doesn't bow to threats, but maybe money, Zankoku Tenshi.
Oh my god! Dang, I forgot to hit the mute button there for a second there. Hey everybody, it is I, Zankoku Tenshi, and welcome to the Zankoku Tenshi Show! And I am your host, of course, and as always, I have my list of awesomeness on my tablet that I'm going to go through, and my god, like, I take a week off because I had to work last Friday, and all kinds of shit happens, and now I've got just a gigantic list. This might be like a 5-hour show, I don't know. But anyways, if you don't know, if you haven't watched before, I'm Zankoku Tenshi. I'm a Z-grade, horrible, no good, pathetic loser of a YouTube video maker. And this is my show where I get a chance to talk about the stuff that I want and talk to you, everyone in the audience and YouTube land and whatever. Any questions, any comments, go right ahead. I love to engage you guys. But let's get right into, oh my god, I was about to say let's get right into the news, but that's like a different thing altogether. So, a new law. Is this the beginning of widespread censorship on the internet? Oh, so apparently in Germany, they passed a law that holds social media companies responsible for what they call hate speech and illegal and inappropriate content on their websites. So what it is you could get a 50 million euro fine, that's like around 60 million US dollars, for hosting things that they deem as illegal. And you have 24 hours from which they say, hey, this thing that you have on here, we don't like it. If you don't do it, they give you that fine. And so what this means is that companies like Google, Facebook, Twitter, who are in, have reach in Germany. If, for instance, someone says something that they determine to be illegal hate speech, the government is basically telling YouTube or Facebook or Twitter, whatever, that if they don't remove this content, then they are going to have to pay a steep penalty. So what does this mean? Well, it means that YouTube and Twitter, these companies don't like spending millions and millions and millions of dollars or pounds or whatever, or euros to, oh, thanks. I do like this shirt. They don't like spending lots and lots of money for things that they can easily just hit the delete button. So what you're going to have happen is you're going to have a bunch of people in the German parliament basically dictating what can and cannot be on an international platform such as YouTube or Twitter. And that's ridiculous. That's horrifying. Because, yes, we all know, oh, we don't like hate speech. We don't like threatening things. We don't like things that create unsafe environments. But if you can't have free speech, if you can't, that doesn't mean you can't not offend people. I mean, I could say that, let's say, for instance, Dragon Ball Z is the worst anime ever created, and it is garbage. To some people, that's highly offensive, and that's hate speech, and it's just an opinion. Now, I don't believe that Dragon Ball Z is horrible, but I just thought I'd throw that out as a sort of for instance there. So what this means is you've got this huge monetary incentive now for Google and YouTube, which are super known for pulling the trigger really fast anyways, to just start deleting things that they're like, well, you know what, we're gonna be proactive about this. You know, the Germans might not like this. Now, I don't know if it just means that they're going to just block it in Germany, or they're just gonna just overall just yank it, which is completely stupid. Like, first of all, like, Germany, you're in Europe. You're supposed to be part of the whole Western values enlightenment and, you know, reason and discourse. And yet, here we go. We're basically having a content code now. You've put your country in the lines of China and Iran. I mean, and Saudi Arabia, where, you know, they tell internet service providers, they tell services that you're not allowed to say this, you're not allowed to do this, you can't do that. And so yeah, no, it was just an example about Dragon Ball Z. Calm down. It's okay. But yeah, it's crazy. Here we are. We have what's considered a liberal democracy, basically creating censorship. And honestly, this thing is a bigger thing than just, you know, some people who might have like a swastika in the background, or someone who might say, you know what the problem is with this country? It's the immigrants. You know, it's more than that. It goes beyond that, because it's all about information and control. Because the governments of these countries want to control information. And so you could have like an actual journalist channel, like for instance, Tim Pool could have goes to Germany, does a report about, you know, anti-immigration protests, or goes about like the Antifa or anarchist protests and stuff like this, and talk about things and the situation on the ground. And if the government doesn't like that kind of reporting, they could totally get his channel blocked because they're not liking the content, not necessarily because it's, you know, outrageous and hate speech and all that stuff, but because they don't want that information out. And this is the crazy stuff. This is the insanity that is befalling the world now. And it's a scary thing, because yes, not only could you, you know, be in a lot of trouble now for just saying stuff, but now it's a concerted effort to control social media through legislation. And it's a scary thing, because you're going to end up with Barney vision. That's what it's going to end up being, Barney vision. Because I mean, if this is the wave, other countries might follow suit, and they think this is a great idea. This is a good way that we can control the conversation, we can control the dialogue, control information, and it is just freaking insanity. And I mean, I thought it was, when I heard about it, I thought there's no way that people could actually support this. I mean, and it's supposedly it's an election year in Germany. So if anyone who's in Germany who watches this, you know, send a message to your legislators, repeal this law, and if you don't, you're getting voted out, because this is too much. This is too much government control. This is censorship, and it could be brought into a wide scale. And you know me, I am absolutely 100% down on censorship. Fuck censorship. Eat it. It is garbage. Anyways, so there we go. Okay, so 21-year-old wants me to go straight to CNN losing its collective mind. I wanted to kind of spread things about and not get too serious, but I am to please. So instead of going to the DMCA abuse, which I'm going to get to, it's a crazy story. Another crazy story. But let's go to CNN loses its collective mind. So I don't know if you've been paying attention, but a few days back, Donald Trump, the President of the United States of America, I know some people are like, oh God, don't say those words together, but he tweeted out a video of a meme, and oh my God, now I got a phone call. Hold on a second. Hey, what's up? Yeah. Sure. Yeah, okay. All right, so here then? Okay, all right. Talk to you later. All right, cool. Bye. Yeah, this is like a theme every time, every show. It's like I'm such a worthless loser that I never get phone calls. I hardly ever get phone calls. I like average maybe 2 phone calls a week, and one of them is always during my stream. But anyways, it's just to confirm that there's going to be another guys' night board game geek nerd-orama coming up at my place tonight. So that's good. I always like having fun with my friends. Anyways, but moving on. So Donald Trump, the President of the United States, he tweets out this meme of back in the day, he was on, like, I don't know, one of the WrestleManias or whatever, and he body slams Vince McMahon and gives him the business on the mat. So somebody superimposed the CNN logo onto Vince McMahon's head and released this animated meme where he just, you know, Donald Trump just slams CNN to the ground and then gives him the business. And CNN just, boom, loses their shit. All of a sudden, they're like, this is an attack on the media. This is advocating violence. Reporters are going to be murdered because of this thing. And just this ridiculous shitstorm happened because of this. People were saying, we need to evoke the 25th Amendment that says that Congress can remove the president if he's mentally unfit and insane. And just... yeah, because he tweeted a stupid meme. He's automatically insane. My God, I tweeted a meme once. Gotta make sure, you know, people in white coats aren't coming to take me away. Oh my gosh, I've lost my mind. But no, that's not it. That's not it. So it doesn't end there. It doesn't end with CNN going, this is horrible, this isn't presidential, this is not the decorum that we expect from the office of the President of the United States. No, they have to like talk about and blow it all out of proportion about how this is like a call to violence, as if this is going to be like Donald Trump tells his supporters to go out and start murdering reporters. No, it's just some stupid meme that shows that Donald Trump is basically body slamming CNN and giving them the business. Whether you agree with that or not is irrelevant. That's basically what it is. So CNN, a news organization, apparently, decides to investigate the source of the meme. And so they use their powers of investigation. I mean, you know, it's been how many years since that Malaysian airliner disappeared, and they still couldn't figure out what happened to that? It's been, what, half a year since Trump took office, and they still haven't found Russian collusion or anything like that. But only a couple days it took for them to find out the creator of this meme. And they contacted this creator. The creator said, oh my God, I got contacted by CNN. Shit's up. Okay, I'm going to delete like my posts and stuff like this. I'm going to issue an apology. Sorry to the Redditors for bringing undue attention and scrutiny and all this stuff. And then he gets a phone call, and CNN puts out this article where it pats themselves on the back, saying, wow, what a good job we do, you know, investigating things, because we found this guy. And this guy was forced to apologize, and he says he's never going to do it again, and it's great. We know who he is, but we're not going to divulge his name and personal information because he's a private individual, and he's sorry for what he's done, and he's showing remorse. So he's being a good guy about it. However, we do reserve the right to post his name and information if any of that were to change. And that's the big thing right there, that if any of that were to change. And basically, they're holding up a sword of Damocles over this guy's head going, oh, you know what? You know, your meme creating days are over. Your shit posting is over. The minute you do anything that defames Lord of CNN's name, boop, we're going to put your name all over the internet. And basically, also, because of this statement, CNN is telling everybody else, yeah, if you do the same, we're going to find you, we're going to get you, and we're going to out you. And I'm like, what the hell are you doing, CNN? I mean, you thought people hated you before this. They're now going to fucking loathe you. You are on, like, the top of the shit list now. I mean, you take a private individual who's just making funny posts on a not even serious Reddit thread, and just because the president thought something was funny and tweeted out and you took offense to it, you got to go out and, like, find this guy, and then you're basically threatening that we're going to destroy your life if you don't play ball. I mean, it's crazy. It's insane. You know, 21 lol, you should probably switch it to the CNN logo, because, you know, they'll love that. Anyways, the old profile pic. But this is disgusting. And to top it off, apparently it's not the same video as the one the president tweeted. Apparently that was traced back to some anonymous Mexican guy. So not only is CNN basically not blackmail, but coercing people on the internet to stop posting bad things about them, but they also get the wrong guy. I mean, sure, he might have been the creator of the original meme and not the edited, changed version that ended up in Trump's Twitter feed, but still, this is like it's all about optics, and you look like the bully, CNN. You look like the big bad piece of shit that people wanted you to be all this time, and you proved them right. I mean, I talked about this like a month ago or longer about the guy who was running for our Congress, I think Montana, who body slammed a reporter. I mean, he literally body slammed this reporter, and that was right before the election, and he still got elected because that's how much the media is thought of today. And CNN goes and does this bullshit, and they still wonder why people don't like them, that people don't trust the media. I mean, they act like a petty kid who's like, oh my God, you impugn my integrity. Well, I'm going to find out, and I'm going to tell the authorities. But thinking about this and talking about authorities, apparently doing that may have broken laws in several states and also federal law. And who knows, we could end up with CNN being investigated by Congress to find out if they are strong-arming people into submission with threats of doxing them. And that's crazy. That's, I mean, this is what? Is this the beginning of the end of CNN? I don't know, but you know, it's a shame because they started out as this news outlet that wanted to be the most trusted name in news, and they kind of, you know, sat that middle ground between MSNBC and Fox News, and then all of a sudden, like in the last couple years, they just went full batshit insane, and it's crazy. It's like watching the beautiful destruction of CNN right before my eyes. I mean, it's hilarious. This is another example of how, you know, people call it fake news, because Like, this isn't news. Finding out who this guy is not news. But all of a sudden, CNN is making itself the news. They're not reporting on the news. They're actually making the news themselves. And it is all bad. And it is all horrible. And they are just, I mean, they're just going to destroy themselves. However, this being America, this will probably all blow over in about a week when something else crazy happens, and I'm sure CNN is feverishly working on something to distract everyone from its foibles. So, yeah, so there you go. The CNN losing its collective mind. That's crazy. There you go, 21 Yol. I messed up my order. So now we're going to go to the next one, which is the DMCA abuse storm. Oh my God. Just hold on to your butts, everybody. So this has been going on for like a week or two, maybe even longer. But it all centers on a game called Star Mazer DSP. And so what has happened is that the person who was hired to do the music for that game, for some reason, had to stop working. And stop working on the project. And so the people who make Star Mazer, they decided to give them some sort of like a severance package for work that they've done and for some future stuff. Anyways, and so the way the contract was is that the music belongs to the game maker and not the composer who made the music. So that's basically what the contract's supposed to be. Well, anyways, the composer didn't really agree with the situation that was happening, and so instead of taking it out on the game creators, this person decided to go on a DMCA takedown rampage on Twitch and YouTube, flagging videos left and right. From what I've heard, we're talking about 60 to 70 videos. We're talking about entire channels, gaming channels, being on the verge of termination because of this, because it's a 3 strikes you're out policy. And it creates all kinds of hassle. I've been DMCA'd before. I fought it. It takes a long time. It's annoying. While you're waiting for things to go through, you've got your YouTube channel is nerfed. And if you got 2 strikes, you're actually kind of like suspended for a while, and you can't do things for like a couple weeks, which is insane. And of course, that 3rd one hits, you know, you're done, you're gone, you know, game over, man. So this composer is issuing all these takedown notices, and of course, the people are going and asking this person, "Why are you doing this? Why are you doing this?" And say, "Hey, don't get angry with me. You guys should be angry with the game maker of Star Mazer DSP." And you should go tell them to give me my money so that I'll release the DMCA claims. Basically, this person is extorting YouTubers, abusing the DMCA system, so that this person can get those users to do their dirty work against the game company to get paid. And it's gone crazy. The whole thing has gone insane, and it is an example of what is wrong with the whole copyright system here on YouTube. Now, I'm not going to say anything more about the situation, that particular situation, because there's a lot of videos out there. Go to Sid Alpha's channel. He's done a lot of stuff on it. Jim Sterling with the Jimquisition. He's done a video on it. You check that out, because I don't want to get into the minutia of the personal stuff and what's going on with that, because that's gone into the realm of mental health issues and death threats and instability and ultimately court. Yeah, someone's been taken to court, and It's crazy. 21 Yol, quick question. What is it? Give me the question. What was the first game you ever played? The first game I ever remember playing was some game on the Magnavox Odyssey 2. I don't remember the name of it. It was some sort of like might and magic type of game where you were like a warrior and you had to fight some kind of wizard thing, but I don't even remember the name of it. So the first game I remember playing that I knew the name of probably was the original Donkey Kong, I think. It was that or Pac-Man, and that was arcades. But I can't, I mean, the first, yeah, I mean, I don't know the name of that Magnavox Odyssey 2 game. I don't know. So there's that. So moving on. So that whole shitstorm aside, this is just a perfect example of what's wrong with the DMCA system, especially on YouTube. The shoot first and ask questions later system. There is currently no burden of proof on the people issuing the takedown claims. They just go to Google and YouTube and say, hey, this video has my stuff on it, kill it. And YouTube goes, okay, boop. Not like, are you sure you have the right to do this? Are you sure you own that stuff? No, they're like, boop. Because they figure if it's frivolous, the content creator will send a counter notification, and then the person issuing the DMCA will just drop it after 2 weeks. Simpsons Hit and Run, that was a fun game. And so, you know, what happens is a lot of times the people who put out DMCA strikes hope that the intimidation factor of, you know, the possibility of getting sued and going to court is enough for them to not do anything and just let it go. I mean, you've had people in the past use it to take down videos that are critical of them, to take down videos of people that they just don't like. And what about YMCA? Well, you know, anyways. But yeah, there's been all kinds of abuse going on. There's companies that are just out there flagging videos left and right, whether or not it's actually accurate or not. And that's the thing. It's like, and what are the repercussions? Like, for instance, what is ultimately going to happen to this person who's filing all these false DMCA claims? I mean, what is YouTube going to do to them? I mean, right now there's no real, like, there's no lawsuit that can happen to them for doing this. They're not breaking any laws. And like what? YouTube's going to terminate their channel even if they don't have a channel? I mean, that's the thing. It's like, where's the recourse? Where's the teeth? And honestly, there needs to be some sort of way that, and I don't know, there's just so many that come in. There's probably so many copyright claims that come in, and you know, YouTube can't handle them all, but there's got to be some way to make it more sure to protect content creators from being abused and having their channels possibly taken away because of people who are using the DMCA as a weapon for their own personal agenda and not for what it's intended to do, which is protect their copyright. And honestly, I mean, I don't know. I think Congress might need to make a law, which is sad, but or amend the DMCA to say, if you're using the DMCA fraudulently, you're going to be fined. You're going to be fined. You could be threatened with jail time. I mean, if you're going to do this, you better be sure that this is your content and that the people that you are claiming against don't have any right to use it. Because it's just insane. Because this is just an example of how one person can throw a whole community of people into utter chaos. I mean, there's people who are losing money over this. They might have issues where they're losing an entire channel. They could lose, you know, their homes if they can't pay mortgage or rent because of situations like this. And it's just crazy and it's nuts. And honestly, I can't believe that still it doesn't seem like YouTube is taking this serious. I mean, it's probably going to take an event of apocalyptic means to get YouTube, and maybe they can't do it. Maybe it's the U.S. government that has to do it, to change the rules to protect not only copyright holders, but also protect people who do fair use, who make transformative works, and protect them from abuse of the system. I mean, and so there's my take on that. But like I said, for more information on the actual story behind this, you know, go to Sid Alpha's channel. I mean, it's some of the stuff that's going on in that story I'm not even going to touch with a 10-foot pole. However, it does kind of lead into my next topic. Holy shit, crazy. Oh my god. So the next topic is refusing sex is bigotry. So apparently there is this this trans YouTuber whose name will go unnamed, who made a video complaining about, and this person is a male to female trans, and complaining about men not wanting to have sex with this person because they find out that they have a penis. And the fact that they're refusing sex is a form of bigotry. And that means they're horrible, Nazi scumbag, and probably racist too. And that is just fucking ridiculous. That is ridiculous. What in the hell? We're basically trying to advocate guilting people into having sex, which is kind of like rape. Maybe not even kind of. Maybe it's complete rape. But yeah, it's stupid. Like let's play out a thing, okay? So let's say there's this man to female transvestite or trans person. All the terminology, it's insane. Can't even keep my head around it. Anyways, so they are still attracted to women. They're attracted to women. So a male to female trans attracted to women goes to a bar and finds this nice beautiful woman. They're dancing, they're talking, they're getting drunk, they're having a good time, and the woman that was at the bar says, "Hey, let's go to my place." So they go to my place, or that person's place, and so the woman goes to the MTF. I'm just gonna say MTF because they're for clarity's sake, so we know which person we're talking about. So the woman, they start kissing. She starts, caressing her legs, and she kind of gets on the inside of her thigh, and she's moving up, and she's moving up the MTF's leg, and then, expecting perhaps the humid crucible of life, instead finds trousers serpent and a couple snozberries. Totally unexpected. Like, what the hell is this? Oh my god, it's a freaking, automatic transmission. No, it's a manual transmission with a couple ball bearings. And expecting, Stardew Valley instead. So, of course, the lady's like, whoa, what the hell is this? And you're telling me that if that lesbian doesn't take the D, like a good human being, I guess, that lesbian is an automatic transphobe, automatic bigot, automatic worst person in the world. So you're basically saying, like, if you're a lesbian and you find an MTF and you wanted to have sex with them, but then the fact that they have cock and balls was the deal breaker, you're a horrible person and you are a bigot, and you have to mouth that thing, or else you're a bigot and a horrible person and a transphobe. No, you're not. Look, and I know, like looking at the comments on a video talking about this, someone says, I wish we could get to the point where our society, genitalia doesn't matter. And I'm like, no, I hope we don't. Because that's the end of the race. I mean, unless we start doing test tube babies or something. Because genitalia matters. And genitalia should matter. Because, you know, future of the species. I'm sorry. Like, you know, if that makes a person a bigot, if they have an attraction to certain genitalia, you know what? Then we need to redefine bigotry, because that isn't. That's like the whole argument for homosexuality is that it's not a choice. It is it's who they are. It's what they are. It's how they're wired. You know, they don't like penis, or they don't like vagina, or they just absolutely love vagina, or they absolutely love penis. And the other thing is disappointing to them. Just like straight people. You know, I love vagina. Penis makes me sad. If I was in that situation, I would be, well, first of all, I would be pissed off, because in my opinion, I've been lied to. So it's like false advertising. It's like going to the store to buy a new video game system. You buy the video game system. It says all this awesome stuff, and you open it up, and it's a box of rocks. You would be upset too. But I'm saying, yes, if you have a penis, it's a deal breaker for me and for a lot of people, and that's not wrong, because guess what? I was born that way. We were born that way. That's just how it is. That is the reality. And to say that, no, we have to go against our orientation. Now, see, that's the thing. Is like you're going against your orientation. Of course it's a trap, but that's the thing. It's like, okay, you know, if there's a guy who doesn't mind that the person has a dick, that's fine. That's perfect. Wonderful for that person. You know, to them, maybe it was like opening a Christmas gift and getting more than you expected. I mean, that's great for them, okay? But you shouldn't hold other people who don't want a dick shoved in their face, and then just call it bigotry if they don't accept dick in their face. I'm sorry, that's stupid. I mean, that would be like me going up to a woman and say, have sex with me. And she goes, no, I don't want to have sex with you. I'm like, what are you, a bigot? Are you a bigot against people who like horror movies? Are you bigoted against people who like beards? I mean, that's just ridiculous and stupid and nonsensical. And the big problem is there's a whole bunch of people who actually think that is bigotry. That, you know, you should be forced to have sex with this person. That's rape. It's rape. They are advocating rape. And it's funny because this is like part of the whole like feminist community, which is supposed to be against rape culture and against rape. And they're literally advocating rape and creating a culture of rape so that a trans person can have their dick sucked by anyone. And that is maybe a good deal for the trans person, but a bad deal for everyone. I mean, what's the end goal? Are you going to have the government start legislating? Basically, you're going to be taking someone to court. Look, this person was going to have sex with me. They went to my house, but then when they found out that instead of a tube snake, I had the Valley of the Jolly Green Giant, I guess that was sort of confusing there because it said giant. But anyways, you know, the court's gonna go, you know, you were gonna have sex with this person, and just because the genitalia was not the one that you wanted. Yeah, I know, it does. It hurts my soul too. It does. It's just crazy. But yeah, just because the genitalia wasn't what you expected doesn't mean you should be refusing sex. I mean, it's just like let's say like a straight couple, and I find this, you know, like this man and woman, they go to hook up, and the man pulls down her pants and finds out that she's got a horrible culture yeast infection thing going that smells like the desiccated remains of the San Francisco harbor after a bad flow day. And he goes, and he literally vomits right there and says, I can't have sex with you. I need to go see a doctor, and I'm traumatized. Are you saying that now a judge can go, okay, well, you know what? That guy, you were in the wrong. You better go down on that nasty fuzziness. I mean, what? No, you're saying you're allergic to mold? Well, too bad. Here's some epinephrine. Go to town. No, that's crazy. And I would have expected the other way. You know, for instance, if a guy doesn't like take care of his junk down there, and the woman was totally willing until you know, it smells like, you know, bad cottage cheese left out in the sun for like a year, you know, I think she reserves the right to say, no, I'm not about this. I am totally not about this. And to say that it's bigoted and phobic for that is just insanity. And the fact that people agree with this is also insanity. In fact, I'm sorry for the graphic details. I don't know what else to say. But in fact, there are people who want to even take this further and say that people who say, like, I will never date a trans person, saying that those people are evil. It's like, no, you know what? They're not evil. They have certain tastes. You know, for instance, you know, I probably would never date a diehard Justin Bieber fan. However, if she's really, really banging and she can listen to Justin Bieber by herself, I might make an exception. But it's an example. It's like, you know, there are certain things that are deal breakers. Like, for instance, children. I don't want to date a woman who already has kids because A, kids are obnoxious, and B, I can't beat them when they piss me off. Like, if I'm the father, you know, I got some court leeway to like slap them around every so often. But I'm not the father, you know. They can be insufferable, inhuman monsters, and I'll have to go, oh, that's nice, hey, try to behave yourself, please. No, I'm not about that. But another thing is, like, you know, if I want to start my own family, not necessarily continue on someone else's, but, you know, that's, I mean, the thing is, it doesn't mean I would never. It's just, I'm saying I would tend to prefer them to not have children. Just like I would prefer that my women have vaginas and not penises. Just like, you know, there are people who would be like, you know, like they talk about yellow fever, they talk about the yellow plague. There's like, they would prefer to date Asian people. You know, there are some people who are like, I prefer to date black people. And there are others who say, I prefer certain religions, they prefer certain nationalities. You know, so for instance, let's say, like, you know, someone's Polish, and they're really big on their Polish heritage, and so they want to maintain, you know, their Polishness, I guess, and so they want to date other people of Polish descent. That's not wrong. That's what they want to do. And yeah, sure, you know, someone who probably wanted to date this person is going to not be able to date this person, but that's not like they're in love yet. It's not like they've been dating for, like, you know, a year or so and fell madly in love and then went, you know what, I'm not Polish. I mean, it's possible that could happen, but I mean, I got dumped for bullshit reasons too. I'm not suing and calling that person a bigot. I just, you know, didn't like the way things ended. But it's just insanity. Like, people are just losing their minds, and the world we are living in is the weirdest timeline. It is the worst, probably, timeline too. I mean, we've got such great things happening, and on the other side, we've got ridiculous insanity. And my goodness, I mean, oh, gee whiz, you know. I mean, you know, if there's a person who says, I don't date white people, that's fine. I mean, you're probably a person I didn't want to be dating anyways. But, you know, it's fine. You're saying you don't want to date people who are taller than you. That's fine. You have a thing. You're in your mind. You know, you can't. I mean, that's fine, whatever. And to say, no, you need to get over it, well, no, fuck you. That's like telling a gay person, like, look, you need to have sex with the opposite sex people. And if you don't like it, you should just get over it, because that's the way it is. And, like, no, that's not the way it is. You know what? Love who you want to love. Do whatever. Just don't force other people to do things they don't want to do. So, right, don't, you know, like I said, don't whip it around someone's face and expect the law to make them take it, because that would just be horrible. That would be the weirdest timeline. So there's that. My goodness, what insanity. So, refusing sex is bigotry. Gee whiz, my goodness. Does that mean easy women are the greatest humanitarians of all time? Are they? They just can't say no, so they're like the best people. You know, nymphomaniacs are the best people. Is this confirmation? Now, traps are sluts and cross-dressers are cool. Okay, look. Let's not generalize. You know, there are plenty of traps that aren't sluts, and there are plenty of cross-dressers that aren't cool. Okay? And, you know, that's the thing. It's like, I worked with this guy. Oh my God, I hope that's the proper way to say it, but he seemed to never have any problem. I don't know if he was trans, but he did shows in his free time. You know, and the guy's name was Carmen. So, anyways, and you know, at work, you know, the normal guy, okay, maybe a little flamboyant, but hey, whatever, we don't care about that. You know, he was a great guy. He was fun. He did his job, and everyone liked him. He got along. He never really, you know, he flirted with everyone, regardless of who you were. He flirted with everyone, but it was fun. It was okay, because, you know, he wasn't overt about it. He wasn't like threatening. He wasn't harassing about it. He was just, you know, he's just like one of the other coworkers. He was great, but he happened to like dressing up, and that was fine. You know, you know, that was his thing, and no one really cared. And and he was a cool guy, but some of his friends were assholes. So, when did you lose your V card? Oh my God! Oh my God! That's personal, Jim the Thug. But yeah, I will tell you. I lost it in 2000. Yes, 2000. I lost it in 2000. It was a good day, or should I say evening? But no, it was a good thing. This is the crazy thing. So she was. God, wait, a gentleman never kisses and tells, so whatever. Anyways, 2000, I'm not going to tell the story. It's way too personal, even though she destroyed my life and my soul. I respect her enough not to drag our personal shit into the public, at least, like, what was going on sexually. But yeah, she was special. I'll tell you that. But yeah, so 2000, and so that was 17 years ago. Around 17 years ago. So yeah. So yeah, I wasn't a youngin. When I was in high school, I was a complete loser. When I was in, I mean, I still am a complete loser, I guess. But I've had sex, so it doesn't matter, right? But anyways. So kind of like the best friend from MM. Oh, you're talking about, oh, okay, you're talking about the cross-dressing. Okay, yeah. Yeah. Oh my God, we got a person. We got a person. Hold on, I need to take a quick break here. Be right back. Okay, and we're back. Sorry about that. Little bit earlier than I expected. Usually a little after 5, people start showing up. But anyways, I just wanted to make sure they realized that they got themselves onto the internet there. And so I warned them, hey, next time you come down, you're gonna be famous, and by famous I mean 3 people are gonna see you. Anyways, craziness. So, but yeah, getting back to what I was saying. Yeah, like this guy's friends though. A couple of them were just. I mean, I shouldn't even say anything about. I just like. You got people who can be cool people no matter what, and then you got people who are assholes no matter what, and then you got people who can go back and forth between them. Anyways, but my whole point is that we can't just paint everyone with broad brushes, as it says. I mean, there are some cool people of every walk of life. Anyways, so yeah, and like the friend from MM. Yeah, that guy was a cool dude, but the fact that the guy kind of like fell in love with the idea of this woman, and then finds out that oh, it's my best friend, and is a guy, and of course doesn't look like the guy normally, and it's I mean, I can only imagine how bad a situation for that guy is. That feels bad, because I don't think the friend really, had any, like, that kind of feel. It's just, but, yeah, so, this should move on, and, oh, I set it over here. Okay, so, I'm going to be moving on. Gonna move on here. And so, the next thing, let's get off of that. So, the next thing here, and this is just funny stuff to me. So Sony bans, and I use a term with quotations, thousands of people from PSN because of an error with PayPal. So apparently PayPal had like some issue, but they're claiming that it's actually on Sony's end. with some people's accounts, and people were using PayPal to pay for their PlayStation Plus membership. And because of this error, it gave a whole bunch of people, thousands of people, a zero or negative balance. And so Sony went and basically kicked them off of the service because of that. And this is like really the first time I've heard of anything like that. Like I've been on Xbox Live for 7+ years, maybe even longer, maybe 9. Or it's been a long time that I've been on Xbox Live, and never once have I heard anything about any kind of like mass bannings or mass, ending of service for people. And this is just ridiculous how like this professional company can basically just axe thousands of people. And I don't, and the thing that is like I haven't heard too much about it. I've heard it from one news source, but not a lot of people have been talking about it, which is kind of ridiculous because this is a big thing. We're not talking about like a couple hundred people. We're talking about thousands of people who one day went to log on to PSN and wanted to play, Call of Duty, Destiny, Grand Theft Auto. I mean, look at 21 Yol. He plays Grand Theft Auto all the time. And how pissed off would he be if he's going, I'm going to go play, some Grand Theft Auto. He gets his controller. Oh my God, I can't even grab it. Oh gee. Got like a mess of wires here. So he gets his PlayStation controller, and he's like, okay, it's time to play some network. What? Can't connect to the network? What's going on to this? What's going on? Press the buttons. I don't understand it. And then all of a sudden, like they go online and they check account status, and then it's like you've been banned or whatever. It's like it's ridiculous how something horrible like that can happen. And all I know is that these people they should get something pretty good from Sony because of this. They should, I'd say anything less than free 3 months would be time to take them to court. I mean, this is a monumental fail. This is an epic dropping of the ball. If I had the freaking Price is Right fail sound thing, I'd be hitting it right now. And this just coming off of the lackluster E3. PlayStation 4 Pro has been getting hammered recently for its poor implementation on a bunch of the games, and like the news coming from the Xbox One X seems to just be like this thing is just pounding the hell out of the PS4 Pro. They have the story that the PS4 is actually going to be the console that's going to be holding the Xbox One back because of the PS4's lack of power. You already got things like where Destiny 2 is going to run at 30 frames per second on the Xbox One X because they wanted to keep it the same for the PS4 Pro, and the PS4 Pro can't handle 60 frames per second, and so the Xbox One X version is getting nerfed. Sony is having some bad goof ups with the PlayStation, and man, they need a win. Maybe Crash Bandicoot is the win that they need because apparently Crash Bandicoot is selling pretty well. But yes, this was only for people who were paying with PayPal, and it wasn't everyone who paid with PayPal that was affected, but there was a lot of people affected. So there was some sort of thing that happened between Sony and PayPal that ended up screwing up things. So I'm just saying, if you're paying with like the cards or your credit card, I don't think that was a problem, but it was a PayPal thing. So That's why you had the little back and forth, you know, because, you know, it could have been on PayPal's end, but they're claiming that, no, it was something on Sony's end. And yeah, it's just a mess. And, like, Sony has been having some problems. I mean, the Crash Bandicoot news is good for them, though now there's a whole bunch of people complaining that Crash Bandicoot is too hard. And I'm like, well... And then there's like this story like, well, you know, because there's actually like more input lag here, or the hitbox is different, and things like that that make it play different, make it harder. I don't know, but I'm just saying, like, you know, Sony is having a little bit of a down streak here. Jim the Thug, what do you think of Black Lives Matter? Black Lives Matters. Well, let's just say that they don't, like, and I'm not an expert, and I'm a white guy. I'm a straight white male. So take that with whatever information you may see. But it would appear that Black Lives Matter is only interested in two things. One is to delegitimize the police, and two, to make money for themselves. Now, this could be not true, but from what I've seen, the evidence that I have seen from all over the place, it seems like those are the things that matter to them. Not actual black lives, because, you know, there's no, you know, and you've probably heard this a million times, there's no protests when, you know, a black kid gets shot on the street by other black people. No, they're barely a whisper. But, yeah, they want to delegitimize the police, depower them, because for some reason in their minds, the police are the reasons their neighborhoods have gone to shit, when it's probably actual crime and violence and an out of control, you know, bunch of you know, late teens, early 20s who don't have a job, who've gotten to gangs because they've got nothing else to do, and the only way they can get money is by playing the street game. And they feel that all of a sudden that's become black culture. And I'm like, and the way to protect that is to make sure that cops don't stop that from happening, which is kind of insane and ridiculous when you think about it, because you don't want that to be your culture. You don't want your culture to be, you know, violence and crime, but yet, you know, they themselves are making that argument, and which boggles my mind. And so it seems like they just want to be left alone to kill each other, which is just strange. It seems like a movement that uses certain situations to gain notoriety, and then through that notoriety, they can profit from it. And they seem to advocate for violence against police officers and also against white people. And that, you know, anytime you have racial violence that you're advocating for, that's wrong. I mean, advocating for violence is generally wrong anyways, unless it's like, you know, a real, you know, need to save yourself type of thing. And I don't see that. Statistics show all kinds of things that, you know, if you're young and black, you're more likely to be killed by another black person than a police officer. A police officer is more likely to be shot by someone than to shoot a black person. But statistics are always wrong if they don't have the right message. So, but it's a touchy subject because, yeah, I think that whenever a police officer kills someone in the line of duty, there has to be a lot of scrutiny, because we don't want we don't want the Wild West where, you just, willy-nilly just shoot up the place. No, we want to make sure that police officers are responsible in their policing. And if there's ever a case where they're abusing their power, they're doing something wrong, then I expect them to be punished for it. I expect them to face the consequences, just like I expect, a criminal to face the consequences, for their actions. So yeah, I mean, when you see like these shootings that happen, and you see there's a big theme in a lot of them of the person trying to leave, resist arrest, fight back, not follow the orders. You kind of like go like, well, I mean, if this all could have been prevented if you didn't like try to punch a guy in the face, or you didn't try to wrestle someone to the ground, or you didn't try to go for someone's gun, But in other cases where it looks like there was no provocation and that they were complying, then yeah, we need to say, hey, you were wrong, and you need to face the consequences for your reaction or your decisions. But it seems like Black Lives Matter doesn't care about the facts, doesn't care about the statistics. What they care about is their political goals and their agenda. And if facts get away of that, then, facts be damned. We're just going to continue on with this narrative. And yeah, I mean, I'm no scholar or expert on them. So, but that's what I've come to think of Black Lives Matter. When I hear people talk about Black Lives Matter, I go, well, they kind of, whatever credibility they may have started with, if they would have came out and said, you're right, Michael Brown was resisting, he went for the officer's gun, we understand that, it's okay, but let's focus on these situations. But no, they double down every time something does not go that fits their narrative, and they push further, and unfortunately that hurts them, that hurts their credibility, that hurts their movement. And it's kind of like how I think about like protesting in general. Back when they had that immigration ban first going, and people were protesting in airports, the protesters were blocking traffic. They were keeping people from going in and out of the airport. You're not convincing people that you're right. You're actually alienating them against you because of your actions. And the same is happening with Black Lives Matter. If they could just have some sense and go, yeah, you're right, this situation was not bad. This was a justified one. But this situation, we need to investigate more. But instead, it's like, oh, well, no, because the witnesses were lying, or the system's corrupt. If it was really true, we should be sentencing this guy to death or something like that. And it's not the case. It's self-destructive. Marching through the streets saying, what do we want? Dead cops. When do we want them now? Things like that. It does not help your cause with the people that you need to convince and back you, because those are the people that are going to get you the results, not the people. When you're preaching to the choir, sure, it's good. It's like it's like masturbation. It feels good, and then you're done, and then what? You really haven't accomplished anything. So you need to get to the people who can actually help you affect change. And what do? You act like assholes. You act like criminals. You act like morons. And you piss people off. And you alienate half the country. And then you expect to have some credibility. And you expect to have some political power. And you expect to make change? No, it's not going to happen. it's stupid. And so yeah, so that's my opinion on Black Lives Matter. Oh my God, talk about a segue there. But so yeah, that started off with the Sony banning people by accident. So so we're gonna move on to final topic, the final topic of the day, and that is Castlevania, the animated series, has been released by Netflix. And I've been looking forward to this one for a while, ever since they announced it. It looks good. I've watched the first episode, and it's violent, and it's gory. There's bad language. It's definitely not for kids, which is great. It's right up my alley. It's awesome. And it looks like it's doing justice to the lore. I mean, we already have the whole thing with Dracula's wife getting burned at the stake, and it looks like we've been. This is the first episode, so spoilers, whatever. But it looks like we've met Alucard, and we've met one of the Belmonts, even though it's very brief. But I like the artwork. I like the tone, and I'm really excited to see how the rest of the series goes. So if you got Netflix and you like Castlevania and you like animated shows, it's done in a very anime style, so that's pretty cool. So I'm excited to see what else is going on with that. First episode kind of flew by really fast, but it was enjoyable. I mean, they're short; they're about like around a half hour, 25 minutes a piece. But I'm very excited. I'm very happy to have more stuff to watch on Netflix. Even like I needed more stuff to watch on Netflix. I mean, Defenders is coming out in August or September, whatever. And then of course the season 2. I was gonna call it Needful Things for some reason. Stranger Things is coming out. So yeah, there's going to be a lot of stuff going on, Netflix wise. But it's really cool. So any of you guys who have Netflix don't know that this is happening, hey, it's neat. So check it out. And yeah, I've been at it for around an hour and 14 minutes, which is actually kind of a light load. I had a lot of topics. I thought it was going to take longer, but not too much discussion in the chat, unfortunately. But hey, maybe people weren't realizing the horrors that I was about to unleash. No, I said horrors, not horrors. Calm down, everyone. I'm not unleashing any horrors. I know, you're disappointed. I'm kind of disappointed too, but yeah. So yeah, I expected there would be a little bit more conversation in there. Cult of Chucky trailer dropped recently. I haven't had a chance to watch it, but the minute I saw the title Cult of Chucky, I went, oh my God, it's not going to be Halloween Part 6 again, is it? The Curse of Michael Myers, where we have like some cult that's controlling Chucky, and yeah, that was a complete mess and disaster of a movie there. The Curse of Michael Myers. My goodness, that's like when your series has gone off the rails. I mean, I used to say that your series ends when you go to space. For instance, like Hellraiser went to space in like Part 4. Jason X, he went to space. So, that was always like Leprechaun in space. That was always the thing. It's like Critters. What was it? Critters was about things from space coming to Earth, and then they had a sequel that they went back to space. And it's like, so the joke was, if you ended up in space, it's the end. Machete in space. That's the end. That's the end of your series. That's the end. It's over. No, you just end it there. So the fact that now we might have like, well, if you have a cult thing going, it's the end. It's the end. Favorite cheesy horror movie? Are you saying that Child's Play movies are your favorite cheesy horror movies, or Halloween Part 6 is your favorite cheesy horror movie, or are you asking me what my favorite cheesy horror movie is? Because if you are, I can't give you an answer because there's just too many for me to think of just one as the most as the best cheesy horror movie. Like, for instance, I do love Seed of Chucky, and I do love Bride of Chucky, and those are cheesy horror movies. I mean, there's just a ton of 80s movies. I mean, Monster Dog, that movie is kind of awful, but I love it. The fact you've got Alice Cooper acting, and it's like he's a werewolf, and it's so dumb, but yet you can't stop watching. I mean, they had like this music video in the middle of it. I mean, it's awful, but I love it. I love his delivery on his lines. It's so messed up, but it's so enjoyable to watch. I mean, there's just way too many. But I gave you a couple examples right there. Gee whiz. I mean, in a way, Friday the 13th Part 6 is cheesy because you had that sort of James Bond intro. With Jason, and the fact that he becomes a super zombie. In fact, Part 6 is probably one of my least liked. I mean, it's not like Part 9 bad or Jason X bad. I mean, Jason X is also a fun time, even though that's pretty cheesy. But I like the fact that, like they have the holograms. It's like, let's have premarital sex. It's like bashing them in the sleeping bag. I mean, that's some good stuff. That's some good stuff. I like it. I like horror movies that are a little tongue in cheek, and I like horror movies that don't take themselves too seriously. Even though I do like horror movies that do take themselves seriously, it's a whole bunch of stuff. I mean, let me just go through and look at my my collection here, and look at some cheesy things. I mean. You got to say the movie Wild Zero is a pretty cheesy zombie movie. In fact, you could say that Versus has some cheese to it. But that movie is so awesome. I love that movie. But yeah, to come up with the number one, I'd have to really think about it. Because the Sleepaway Camp sequels were bad, but I still liked them. What do you think of the alt-right? Oh my God, Jim the Thug, man, with all the political questions. But going back, I mean, Killer Clowns from Outer Space. That's another good cheesy horror movie. Oh man. But yeah, I mean, I'd have to think about it too long. But okay, so let's talk about the alt-right. Might as well. So, yeah, the alt-right. I guess it really depends on, how you categorize. Because, I mean, there are people who are on the alt-right that aren't white supremacist, neo-Nazis, and racist, and then there are on the alt-right people who are white supremacist, neo-Nazi racists, and I think what it is it's a loose affiliated term. I mean, there's a lot of people who get lumped into that because there really isn't any real definition of the alt-right, at least in my opinion. And basically what I think of them is it's a people who were on the right side of the spectrum. So, some conservatives, some libertarians that, were in that sort of camp, who are very disillusioned with the mainstream right. And so they kind of broke off and just kind of created their own thing and sort of used the tactics a bit of the left with the ideological attacking. But I mean, honestly, I haven't really studied the alt-right too much. I know that it's sort of like a reaction also to the ultra globalist mentality that you see on the left. The ones that they're moving towards more authoritarian type control. They move to more globalist control, and it's more about international community and not nationalism. And it's all about multiculturalism, and that all cultures are equal. And I think the alt-right is a natural reaction to that big push for globalism and multiculturalism, where they're saying no, borders matter, nations matter. It's fine to have a national identity. Multiculturalism has failed. Globalism only protects the elite and doesn't protect the regular people in each of the individual countries. And it's kind of like a nationalistic and somewhat populist type of movement. And yeah, and because you have things like nationalism and culturalism, they believe that there are superior cultures, like the West's culture is superior than other cultures out there. So yeah, because you're in that thing, you can end up getting ultra nationalists in there. And because we are talking about races and racial differences, you can get racial supremacists in there. And it's on one side it's bad, because you don't want to be just thrown out there as an alt-righter, because then you're associated with those supremacists and racists. But the thing is, like, when you tell someone they're a leftist, they're not automatically getting thrown in with their racists and their supremacists. I mean, in the far left, you've got black supremacists, you have Latino supremacists, you have anti-Americanism. But you can have Mexican nationalism, you can have Afrocentrism, which is in a way against the globalism, and they're just using globalism to get more power for their platform. But there's a lot of similarities on each end, alt-right and the far left. So the thing is, no one ever really talks, about the far left, because they tend to have taken over the left entirely, and perhaps the alt-right sees that, and they think that they can take over the right in a similar manner. I think the problem is, because the right side is more individualistic, it's harder for them to have a cohesive, grand, identity. But I don't agree with race supremacy. I mean, no one race is superior than the other, unless it comes to beautiful women and internet porn. Then we all know Asian master race. Asian master race right there. When it comes to internet pornography, you can't beat the Asians. They are the superior culture when it comes to that. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to end this soon. But other than that, but cultures, yes, I do believe that there are actual cultures that are superior. Inferior cultures tend to die out. I drink to that. It's good. But yeah. The delay on the chat. Dang it. But no, I mean, yeah. When we talk about culture, yeah. I mean, there are obviously cultures that are better. Not necessarily mean that they're better in every single way, but there are, like, you know, more often than not better. Like the fact that, you know, some cultures value the individual over the collective. Favorite Japanese horror movie? Ju-on the Grudge, #1. Ju-on the Grudge. That's my favorite Japanese horror movie. Though I do really like Audition by Takeshi Miike. If you looked at my top 10 horror movies of all time, I think Ju-on is #3. It's either #2 or 3 in my top 10. But it's definitely my favorite Japanese horror movie. I think Audition was in the top 10 also. So that one was pretty cool. Oh, we got an invader here.
What are you doing, Uncle?
What am I doing? I'm on the internet. What are you doing? Hold on, I'm going to be taking a quick break here. Oh, hold on. Oh, man. All right. Oh, my nephew. He lives across the street, by the way, if you don't know that. He lives across the street from me. So sometimes he'll pop in and he'll be like, "What you doing? What's going on?" So, yeah, it's getting, what, 5:30? Anyways, okay, yes, see, Asian best girl. Yeah, I mean, like, there's one of those things, like, if I had my choice between a beautiful Asian woman, a beautiful white woman, a beautiful black woman, a beautiful Latino woman, and I don't know what other races are. My apologies. I don't know. Anyways, okay, let's, you know, beautiful Scandinavian, beautiful Russian, you know, beautiful Polynesian. Ooh, that's a tough one. Polynesian and regular Asian. Ooh, Asian. Choose the Asian. I got it bad. Now, which Asian? You know, honestly, recently, you know, it used to be Japanese women, but man, there are some awesome Korean women out there. Oh my goodness. Some awesome Korean women out there. Holy crap. Some ridiculous Korean women out there. But, you know, South Pacific, though, you know, they kind of, there's some really, really good looking South Pacific. I mean, there's really good looking women all over the world. So, but no, I mean, you know, I still I guess Japanese women, because I could kind of have a conversation with them. I could kind of have a little conversation with Chinese women. But man, there's some really hot Korean women out there. So, anyways, but yeah, I'm not saying that you know I'm only going to exclusively date X. I'm not, especially now where my life is. I mean, I might end up having to date some chick with a dick, because that's the only option I have left. It's a sad option. It's not a really good option. Okay, I've not sunk that low in my own world yet. But if you like that stuff, man, go right at it. Go right at it. You know, just go to town. Just don't make videos and show me. 'Cause I don't. But no, yeah, it's some crazy stuff. But yeah, like getting back to the cultural thing though. Yeah, I mean, like, you know, some cultures value you know, individual rights more than collective rights, and I think the ones that value individual rights more are a better culture, because they're less likely to just kill 1,000 people for the good of the state, you know. But you know, it can go too far. You know, you can be too individualistic and things like that. But I'm saying, like, you know, there are some good things and bad things about cultures, but there are also some overwhelmingly good things about certain cultures and some overwhelmingly bad things about other cultures. And it's intellectually dishonest to say that you know, some ideas are just as valid as other ideas, when no, there are superior ideas, so there has to be superior cultures, because those cultures are kind of based on ideals and ideas. And so, you know, when there are cultures that are cultures of injustice and death, those are bad cultures. There's cultures about rule of law and individual rights and liberty. That's a good culture. And we want to, you know, allow good cultures to flourish while trying to convince bad cultures to change what's bad in them. And to expect bad cultures to not change and then have your culture change because of the bad cultures is a bad, dangerous situation. But that's, you know, that's just, you know, my little view on that type of stuff. So, yeah, it's getting 5:30. I'm gonna have to pick up some adult beverages pretty soon. People are gonna start showing up probably in the next 10 to 30 minutes, and gonna have some fun. Gonna play some games. Hopefully, I'll win some things. You know, be victorious, and I'll have a fun time. And of course, this is the start of my new vacation. A couple weeks ago, I was on an old vacation, but I'm on a new vacation. That's the fringe benefits of having 5 weeks of vacation, is that I get to take lots of time off during the summer. So hopefully, I'll start working on some cool stuff. Let the chat come too. Like literally, I don't even know logistically how I can even deal with game night. Plus the fact that chat could totally be like looking at game state and totally give away things, like, you know, for instance, if we're playing like a card-based game, the chat could be all like, you'd be like, he's got a red 4, a red 4. Or we'll play spades, just like, he's got the ace. The guy in the blue shirt's got the ace. I mean, I don't know. Like my camera, I don't even know if I can. I don't have a USB cable long enough to get to my table. Yeah, I mean, that's basically what you'd be seeing. I'd probably turn on the other light. Clean up that bag. So there's the game table with a bunch of games on it already. That's as far as I can go. I mean, I could make another stream using my tablet, because the YouTube app will allow me to use the camera and do a live stream straight from my tablet. I just never tried it because it could just be shitty quality, and that way I could just go. But I don't know. I mean, logistically, I don't want to create like any kind of like problems for the people who are playing, because they're not expecting to get online. They're not expecting to have this. I mean, literally, if I want to do that, I'm gonna have to, like, get like a longer USB, get a better camera, probably try to attach it to the ceiling so you can see the table, and then perhaps then I can stream a game night here or there. But first, I would probably have to get like the money for that setup. So hey, you know what? Come to my Patreon site. I don't have a Patreon. I'm sorry. I don't. No. Patreon means responsibility. If I start getting patrons, then they'd expect me to do things. So yeah, the camera's a little off there. But yeah. Anyways, yeah. So I'm gonna have to like start making the preparations here soon. I already got something going up there already. So yeah, I think unless anyone in the chat has anything they want to ask me, any comments they want to make, otherwise I think I'm gonna end it here. It was a really good discussion. It was a really good one. I mean, talking about, like, we started off with what could be the end of the internet as we know it, with that law in Germany, and then of course we talked about CNN basically just owning themselves by just doing the most ridiculous, stupid stuff ever. Then we talked about the DMCA abuse storm that was happening because of Star Mazer DSP. And we talked about refusing sex as bigotry, Sony accidentally banning thousands of people, and Castlevania being released on Netflix. So, you like pizza? Dude, I'm an American. Of course I like pizza. I would have my citizenship revoked if I didn't like pizza. Pizza's awesome. I love pizza. Pizza, to me, is like sex. Even when it's bad, it's still pretty good. However, I stopped believing that during my first trip to Japan, because I was introduced to curry pizza, and I can no longer believe that, because there is a bad pizza now that I will never wish upon myself ever again, or any of my enemies. Curry pizza is awful and is not fun at all. In fact, it ranks up there with there was this I went to this buffet, and they had pizza that had chicken on it, and I'm like, okay, so it's chicken pizza, that's fine. You know what's really cool on pizza? Baby corn. Baby corn is pretty good on pizza. I had the curry pizza is horrible. No, but it was ham and baby corn, and it was really good. I liked that. But no, there was this one that was chicken, and so I take a bite out of it, and to my horror, instead of pizza sauce, it was ranch dressing. Oh my God, I never spat something out of my mouth so fast. I mean, the thing was, like, with the curry pizza, it took a few bites before the curry started hitting you. And then you know, by that time, you already swallowed a couple pieces, and now your stomach is, like, rotting from the inside. But those Japanese people loved it so bad. But my God, that, that taste of just, but generally, yes, overall, I love pizza. Pizza's great. Pizza's one of my favorite foods. I could eat pizza every day. No problem. I mean, it's not my favorite food. Favorite food's steak. Love me some steak. Some red meat done medium rare, maybe a little bloody. The Return. We talking about cheesy horror movies that we like? I don't get the statement, The Return. But I mean, that sounds like a horror movie. I don't know if I've seen that one though. But I'm trying to think if that's what they're talking about. But no, I mean, I love pizza. But steak is number one. Steak is number one. Steak is I can have every meal every day for the rest of my life. And it would be a short life because it would probably kill me, but it would be a good life and a happy life. Love me some red meat. Yum. Even pineapple pizza. Look, I like Hawaiian style pizza. Pineapple's all right. It really depends on the pineapple. Sometimes you get like this pineapple that's really potent, and that can kind of, you know, overpower the pizza. But you know, I don't mind it. It's not my preferred. Like if I had a choice between, you know, hey, we're gonna get some pineapple or some Hawaiian pizza, or we're gonna get some like regular pepperoni, I'd probably choose the Hawaiian. But if it was like, say, pepperoni and bacon or ham and pepperoni, then it's like, no, ham and pepperoni is way better. Pepperoni and bacon, of course, it's got bacon. But yeah, I mean, I love Detroit style pizza. There's this place called Buddy's, and they make some awesome pizza. They've got this pizza called the Detroiter, which is awesome. And then the one I had last time I was there, I can't remember what it was called, but that one was super awesome too. The Return, it's steak. Never heard of it. Like, is that from like a restaurant or something? If The Return is steak, I mean, like steakhouses that I go to. I go to Logan's Roadhouse. I like that place because I love their rolls, and you get a good steak, and then you know, sop up all the juices with the rolls, and you eat that. But like, you know, as long as you don't murder it by cooking it too long, you know, most times when I get a steak, even if it's from like the diviest of dives, as long as they cook it right, you know, and they have a decent cut of meat, I'm all on it. I'm good. That's great. Even non-decent cuts of meat, I'll still eat up. But you know, I mean, the best steaks though are ones you grill yourself, because you can control the seasonings and all that stuff. And just don't overcook it. Yeah. But so they never done a good steak pizza yet. I mean, I've had pizzas where they said they had steak on them, but see, I think the thing is with a steak pizza is that you'd have to cook the pizza and the steak separately, and then when the pizza's out, then you chop up the steak and put it on top of the pizza, so that the steak doesn't get too overcooked, being in the oven. What's up, Skinny Gamer? How is it going? You've caught the back ending of the stream, basically. We're sort of winding down with a little bit. You like steak well done? Oh my God, Jim and I thought we were getting along, but now, you know. What in the world? Oh my goodness. That's okay. My best friend in real life likes well done steak, so it sucks because when you go to a restaurant with them, your meal takes forever to get to you because they have to fucking cook the life out of that damn thing for him. But you know, oh my God, everyone like, oh, what is wrong with you people? Ah, ah. Desiccated, dry, lifeless. Ah. 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 I feel betrayed. I feel betrayed. I feel betrayed. Oh, what in the world? No, you know, like, honestly, I don't care. I don't care. You know, whatever, you know, the way you like it is the way you like it. You know, I just, you know, I'm going to turn that light off. It feels like I'm, like, haloing here. So that's all right. I mean, I do lose some respect for you, but that's okay. That's okay. As long as you're not cooking my steak, I'll be fine. Just a little pink? No, no, no. A little, no. No, maybe a little red in the center and pink. I mean, oh, no, man. See, that's the thing. Is like you can always undercook a steak because you can heat it up a little bit more. Once you get over it, it's done. It's sad. But impossible question continued. What episode was I up to 2 weeks ago? And that's effed up. You were up to episode 9? I want to say 9. Because we were talking about I remember we were talking about now I can't remember the name of it. The show with the cannibalism and the incest. Well, not really incest, but it was borderline. My goodness. Now I can't remember the damn name of that show. Oh, gee. Shows where my mind is. But yeah, I mean, getting back to the steaks, you know, whatever you like, it doesn't matter. I'm just saying that I always say mid-rare because people, they tend to overcook a little bit, but I like my women like I like my steak Asian with a little pink in the middle. No, because if you say rare, you tell them rare, then they undercook it like horribly. So you say mid-rare, because if they undercook it, it's fine. It's not cold. And if they overcook it a little bit, it's still not the end of the world. I mean, I used to order things medium, but yeah, then they always seem to overcook that shit. So I'd rather it be a little rarer than. But yeah, Rare is not pink. Rare is not pink. No, it is not. No, it is not. Rare is red in the middle. It is. But, I mean, whatever. It's like, oh, don't make me pull up that meat meme. God, I called it meme for some reason. But, raw meat, you eat raw meat. That's what my girlfriend said. Ha ha ha! Ha ha! Ha ha! I'm not currently singing it. But no, it's like I've eaten raw meat before. I mean, it's not my preferred, but I have no problem with it. I do prefer some cooking, but no, raw is like cold and what they call blue rare. No, there's got to be some searing because searing is great, but God, what the hell were we talking about? Oh, yeah, that we just sort of just glided over Grant Matsuda's statement about the Asians being a little pink in the middle. That's I mean, what can you say about that? I mean, I kind of agree. I love going back to the whole trans sex story. I love the pink. I absolutely love the pink. You like fried chicken? I do like fried chicken. I do like fried chicken. That is fried chicken's good. I went to college in Kentucky for about a year, so I had some good southern fried chicken from the home of fried chicken. So here's that infographic about steak, and you see how medium rare has redness in the middle, and it's not pink. Anyways, but I'm so vindictive. I had to prove I was right. I'm sorry. Fried Oreo. Never had fried Oreo. I've never had any fried candy, cookie, or candy bar ever. So I don't know. I'm a little bit afraid of that, even though I do love fried foods. I don't know. I have like I don't know. I'm just afraid maybe I'd like it too much and then I become a gigantic blimp. I don't know. Could have sworn that it's pink. Well, I mean, I couldn't remember the name of that show that I did. So, you could, pink, red, whatever. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Oh, God, the name of that show is now on the tip of my mind now. And it's like it's bothering so much. Pupa! Pupa! It's Pupa, right? It was Pupa. Right? Pupa? That was the name of the show? That's it. Oh, my God. I feel better. Don't you hate that when you can't think of something and it's in your mind and then all of a sudden you get it and then it's like, oh, thank God. Thank God I can live again. And, oh, we got ourselves a visitor. Hey, what's up?
Internet?
Hey, what's up? Here, I'll get you. You're on the camera now.
All right.
All right, sweetness. All right, I probably should be ending it now because I got to get some booze. Insert bad not being pink pun. Using the word insert and pink in the same sentence is awesome, my friend. Awesome. What do you think of Family Guy? My God, these guys. I haven't watched Family Guy in several years. I thought it was a funny show back in the day. Don't worry, you'll only lose 10 years off your life if you eat deep fried candy. But I've already lost so many years already. If I eat one, I might actually go negative. And I don't even want to know what that would look like.
You just roll over, and then you're like a kid again. You can start all over. You're perfect.
I think we just figured out the secret to immortality.
Yes.
But I don't want to be a little kid again. My childhood was not fun.
Well,
I mean, there was fun, but I mean, it wasn't like, you know.
I don't know. I'd accept going back to being a little kid again.
Plus,
if
have you seen?
If I could live another 100 years or whatever.
Have you seen pictures of me like when I was a kid? I'm ugly as fuck, man. Shit. I mean, I thought I looked like a nerd now. My God, back then. God.
Pretty sure everybody looked that way when they were a kid.
No, man. There's some people who've just been good looking ever since birth. Those filthy bastards. Anyways, yeah, I gotta end it. I gotta run. But it was great. Look at it. It's almost been 2 hours. But thanks for everyone who was in the chat. Thanks, Jim the Thug, Lols1, Grant Matsuda, Skinny Gamer, 21 Yol. Am I forgetting anybody? Let me get my chat box here. Ugh. And see if there's anybody I forgot. Oh, Silas Fear, man. How can I forget Silas? New person bow to the week before last week's veterans. All right. Well, but yeah, I will see you guys later. You guys have fun, and I will see you guys next week unless something happens that prevents me from doing so. But until then, you guys stay sexy, Internet. And remember, refusing sex is bigotry. So take the D. Take the D. Oh my God, the world's insane. The world's insane. He's like, what the fuck is he talking about?
I know exactly everything about what you're talking about.
Oh really? Oh God, you know about it?
No, I have no clue.
Okay, well, shit. All right. So see you guys. Bye.